welcome to the Henry Schaefer Theater Talk. My name is Diana Shabai Booker. I'm the programming coordinator here at Proctor's, and I'm joined today by some of the cast of Life of Pi. Woohoo! So as I get settled here, I'm just going to ask everybody to go down the line and tell us your name and your role in the show.
This is on. Great. Hi, I'm Savadu Jivaratna, and I played Pi today.
Hi, my name is Shiloh, and today I was in the heart of the tiger, the middle part.
Hey, you guys were a wonderful audience. Let me first by saying that. My name is Sinclair Mitchell. I play the zebra, Father Martin, Russian sailor, and Admiral Jackson.
Hello. Oh. Hi, I'm Alan Ariano. I played Mr. Okamoto and the Filipino captain, and Jai, who doesn't say anything but very important to the show.
Hi everyone, my name is Rishi Jaiswal. I play Mamaji, Panditji, the Zebra Heart Sailor, and a bunch of other roles. You guys were wonderful.
Hi, my name is Sharyu Mahale, and I play Pi's sister Rani.
Hi, my name is Sean Watson, and I'm the assistant carpenter and flyman.
Well, thank you, everybody, so much for being here. So I'm just going to kick it off with a couple of questions, and then you all be thinking about questions you'd like to ask them, too, because we're going to throw it to you after that. So it really seems like Life of Pi has been part of the cultural zeitgeist for the last almost 25 years now. The book came out in 2001, the movie in 2012, and then this play premiered in 2019 and has made its way across the world since then. It really seems like such a natural progression to the stage. So how do you feel being a part of it now, and how has your experience been in Schenectady so far? Anyone can answer the question, yes.
I feel so privileged and so lucky to get to be part of this. I saw it on Broadway, and I was just like a little boy in the audience going, oh my God, I want to do that. And now I get the privilege of getting to do that. And it was nice to know some of the people that were in that Broadway cast. And now to get to be friends with them and doing the show every night is pretty incredible. So I feel very privileged. It's really interesting. The show has not just our US contingent, but also a UK contingent that's traveled around. And the connections between all of us, the 14 actors that have played Pi, the infinite others that have done all the other roles, that has been something really, really fun to get to share. As for Schenectady, Schenectady is great. It's cold, and I'm eating a lot of food.
Well, for me, it's just a joy and a blessing to perform each night on stage with this show, because it's such a magical piece, and it's just the storytelling and seeing how far we've come in the theater. The theater magic is so alive with this piece, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it, and with this company and the entire team. As far as Schenectady is concerned, you guys have a life that is truly blessed. This place is like the capital for small businesses. And I love giving back, and everyone's so kind everywhere I go, so enjoy it while you got it, man. Go Schenectady.
Yeah, I agree with him. Working with his cast and this material with the puppetry and the visuals and the technical aspect of it, it's really a gift to be a part of it. And this, I've been around a while, and this cast as a group, as a whole, the family unit, is really something special, and I hope they all realize that, because for someone who's experienced casts that aren't always so special, they really are. As far as Schenectady, this is my second time. I was here last year with Girl from the North Country, so I love Schenectady. It's like a perpetual Christmas town to me. It's that little town that you want to go to Christmas every time.
I think for me, being able to tell this story, because as artists, our main thing is we have something to say, and this touches on so many different things, and to be able to do it with a cast that has similar thought processes is just beautiful and wonderful. And we ourselves explore the questions that are asked within the play every night when we hear it and we do it. That's why it comes out a little bit different each time if you guys ever want to come again.
Well, speaking of the questions in the play, I have kind of a deep dive question. But one of the themes that stuck with me most when I saw it was the constant battle between spirituality or faith and between fact and reality. Pi just wants to be close to God no matter what the religion, and he is told to choose. And then later he makes Mr. Okamoto choose between the stories, one that requires a leap of faith and one that doesn't. So how does this affect you as an actor in portraying the story? Sorry.
Well, for me, I mean, I don't know which story you believe, but for me personally, I believe the second story. And without the animals.
Oh, without the animals.
Because a young child dealing with so much death and having to eat someone, that messes with your head. And so for him to try to deal with that and have religion and never losing his faith when the sister says, how can you have faith and look at where you are? And he says, I'm still alive. So as long as you breathe, you still have faith. You have faith that that car is going to turn on when you put the key in. You have faith that, when you sit down in the theater, that it's going to be a great show. You have faith, right? And so in everything, in every aspect, God is there. God is in the play. It's totally in the play, and it's in the book, and it's in the movie. God is in all things. He's in that seat. He's in that chair. You have faith when you sit down. You're going to sit properly, and it's not going to falter through. So having faith and making faith a main construct of the life of Pi, it's a human construct.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll say my piece about faith in the show has kind of come a long way. I grew up Buddhist. I kind of currently am, unlike Pi, sort of between things in terms of dealing with the play. Pi wants to be close to God, but the thing that Pi continually asks is of Okamoto and the audience to believe, to choose to believe in something rather than, be an agnostic and sort of flip between things that sort of work for you whenever if it doesn't. And I think there's a lot of crazy things happening in the world, and watching sort of videos or just hearing stories of people going through these crazy things, seeing them turn to faith as something to believe in and to have hope and to help them get through. I feel like that's where faith really resides for me as an actor in the play. The stories we use to help us get through the next horrible day are super duper important. And I feel like in my atheistic Buddhist quality, that's always been something that has really resonated for me. You can't take that away from someone. And I think that's important. And I feel like that's one of the things that Pi is asking of the audience and of Okamoto.
I'll add something, which is that doing this show takes a lot of belief. So when we first started learning the puppetry, there's a team of 8 puppeteers that do all of the animals. And you start working with them and you think, how are we ever going to do this show? It's a lot to remember. It's a lot to be strong enough to do. And it's really the hardest show I've ever done, but because of that, it's the most fulfilling. And one of our puppeteer directors, Scarlett, will say, the first day you go on, you're going to be like, I'm not ready, I can't yet, And she sort of asked us to believe that the time will come when you will feel comfortable and be okay with being in the time now when you are absolutely not comfortable. And that has really taken sort of a belief in self and in your team to say okay, here we go, and it's going to get better.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think it's a great exercise for us actors. I identify as agnostic myself, but I play a Hindu priest, and what our job is as actors is to believe whatever your character believes. And so there's this beautiful moment before the market doors open where me, as the Hindu priest, and Sinclair, as the Christian priest, hold hands. Nobody can see this, but it's just me and him. And he says a little prayer or I say a little prayer. We alternate, and we just ask a higher power, which we both, like, I don't know if I believe in that or not, but we both come together in that moment and ask for the audience to love us, for us to give the audience whatever they need. And I think that just fills my eyes with tears every time, that as human beings, we want to call to something, but we don't know if there's something listening or not. So it's beautiful, this play.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. This is what art is about, right? It's about believing in each other and in the story we're telling, and that's why we do it. Thank you. Okay, it's your turn. Yes, sir.
What went into making the animals so realistic as a puppeteer? What did you have to learn? And as a maker, how did that all come together?
I'll start on that one. So there's a couple of core principles to puppetry that they teach us right at the beginning that are what makes something feel alive. And even though the puppets are incredibly beautiful, you could also use these same principles with like a piece of cloth or a water bottle or anything you had, you could puppet it. And those are breath, weight, and eye line. Right, because you have to look like you actually have to play by the rules of gravity, so the tiger can't be floating around. It has to be alive in its breath, and it wants to look and have thought, right? So every time it thinks something, usually it's using its eyes to say, oh, what was that? Or maybe it's its ears, right? So I guess it's thought more than just the eye line, but that's how we often communicate it. So those are things that we're thinking about in all of the animals, but it's a constant practice. The Tiger team has a chat every night during the show while you all watch the second story. We come off and we say, oh, how did this go? How did that go? Because it's like dancing with three people, especially in that animal because it's so big and so heavy. So you're sort of improvising. I mean, we have steps that we're supposed to take, but we're all trying to read each other's minds all the time, and it doesn't always work, you know? So if you're looking really closely, you might see something, but mostly we're feeling each other and trying to keep the tiger or any animal alive at all costs. Even if, you know, something falls or something goes awry, you want to keep the animal alive.
I do not actually build the puppets. I have not built them. We have a puppet master who works on them and keeps all of their parts working and wonderful, so I can't really speak to them. I wish I could. But watching the cast every day, we have about a 45-minute lift and fight call prior to the show. So they're all working and warming up and getting through movements and making sure that everything's happy and content. It's pretty crazy to watch. Every day you're still like, they growl and everything and all these noises that they're making, you're like, that came out of their mouth. That came out of their bodies. Or like, yeah, it's cool.
I'll add one thing, which is that there's a concept that we talked about in our first week of puppetry work called the fourth puppeteer. So we have 3 puppets inside the tiger and 1 outside, or puppeteers inside the tiger and 1 outside, which is Pi. The interaction between 2 things, right, is the thing that makes it real. And, oh, please join me. Part of the telling of the story is that whatever the tiger does, you have to respond to actually. So anyone that's in the ensemble of it also has to treat the animals as if they are real, as if that paw that went down actually went down, not like a choreographed step that we happen to remember, right? The physics are between things. I think that's always cool.
As someone who plays mostly a live person in the show, throughout the rehearsal process, as well as I think a couple months into our run, I was like, I felt secondary because it's such, the show is really about Pi and the animals and whatnot. Then it dawned on me that I do some puppeteering. I puppet the boat, the small boat. I puppet the tree with you, next to you. I puppet the fish and whatnot. And then a friend of mine, I thought the actual big boat that comes in, for the longest time, I was like, why didn't they make that a mechanic? Why didn't they automate that and make it easier on us actors? And then finally a friend who saw the show from New York and said, I love that aspect of it because you were puppeteering that boat too. And I was like, because I also push on that boat. I puppet, and I realized, that's right. That's the whole goal of the show, is making these things alive, whether it's an animal or an inanimate object. I mean, or like the lives of the tree and whatnot. So that suddenly was a huge revelation in what we do individually as well as a whole. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. All right. Yes.
Hi. Toussaint Jean-Louis. I play the head of the tiger, Richard Parker, and also cook. I'll be cook tonight.
Yeah, you will.
Yes, all the way back there.
Was Richard Parker two different puppets? Because he looks thinner as it goes on?
Is Richard Parker
The
two
question
different
was,
puppets?
are there two puppets of Richard Parker because he looks thinner as he goes on? I think that we just acted so well that you saw us get thinner. There are two puppets, but one is a backup, so they get traded out. But no, it's the same size, the whole thing. I love that question.
Made my week.
But there's two Savadus. We have a thinner one who goes on the second show.
And he looks skinnier. He's lighter.
It's me.
Yes.
For the carpenter,
Yes.
what's the most challenging part of the sets and what's your favorite part?
Can you describe what you do to get the boat on? Because it is crazy.
The hatch and kicking. So, all the things. So the most challenging thing is when we get into new spaces, setting up the turntable itself. That I think takes the most time. This is my first show working with a turntable. So that's been kind of fun. There's three of us. There's our head carpenter, an automation carpenter, and then I'm the flyman and assistant carp. So any of the scenery, the walls that you see, the deck that you see, I'm in charge of all that kind of fun stuff. The boat, there's a little hatch on the side of the walls that you guys see. That section of the wall is three different pieces, just the lower section itself. So that all comes together. But on the back side, we pull a rope to open that hatch and then actually kick the boat on. So it's manimated, which is kind of fun. But like getting that kick just right to make sure I'm not taking anybody's ankles out, or like yeeting it all the way into center stage. I don't want to like kick it too far. Has been a fun process. So yeah, and then like
Amazing to watch. Like even now as an actor, thank you. Even now as an actor, like when I'm not playing Pi and I just get to watch the boat get kicked on, it just like floats into space, and then Alan's there picking it up to walk it further. Like, oh, magic!
Yes.
I have a question for Richard Parker. Was it difficult? Did it take a long time for you to develop your tiger voice?
That's a great question.
Did it take a long time for you to develop your tiger voice?
I feel like it was always there.
Yes.
It just needed some nurturing and some honey and some sleep and water. But it's definitely something that I think evolves. There are times when I may sound a little more human than I want to, so I try to find the raspiness on the vowel and not use consonants. Because if I say "rah," it's very human-like versus, you know. So yeah.
Okay. We have time for one more question. Yes.
The special effects were amazing. Is there anyone that can speak on that, and particularly how they did the
Oh, special effects.
we have a lot of projectors. There's one out at front of house, and then there's 5 above the stage. So yeah, and that's our Tim is our video technician, and he's incredible.
I actually got to talk to the lighting technicians for a little bit on a drunk night, and they explained to me, because I was fascinated like how they did this, and they have algorithms that actually know where the walls are and where to bounce off of. Even the shark was based on a real shark. They made a model, and then they outlined it and then put it in the program. So everything is like feeding in live time and reacting to things that are happening. Certain things are obviously repetitions, like the waves and stuff, but everything they did makes the show such a spectacle that I was so fascinated by it. And I'm sure you guys had a great time watching it too.
Wonderful. Thank Thank you so much for being here, everybody. Let's give it up one more time for the cast of Life of Pi.
Thank you for supporting the arts. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thanks for
so
being a
much,
great
everyone.
audience today. Always huge.